Hello everyone, hello friends. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome back. I'm Jennifer from Personal Power Wellness, and I hope that you're having an amazing or at least positive feeling day. And even if you're feeling anxious, that is totally fine. If you have any worrisome thoughts, fearsome about something happening right now in your life, maybe health problems or concerns or just anxiety about the uncertainty, that's all right. Whatever state you're in, we're here together. And thanks for tuning in. So I wanted to bring today's wellness message from the kitchen to share with you the beetroot mandarin juice that we made last night. And this one looks like a good batch. Actually, ultimately it came out to almost, it's like 16.7, maybe 17 ounces. And I made it last night, and I think that it will be absolutely sensational because I've already had a taste of it and I really, really loved it. So let's just angle it this way so that you can have a look as I go ahead. I'm gonna give it a whirl. So we have here the foam from the upper part. There it is. And so you see that color. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. This is what I usually do. There it is. Giving it a nice mixture because it sometimes settles. It will somehow settle the thicker, more dense components in the bottom, and hence we're gonna just give it a homogeneous consistency like so. I hope that you can see that. And so here we are, and this is the foam from the strainer. It looks super thick, but it's actually extremely delicious too. So this is a beetroot orange juice or beetroot mandarin because I wanted to use the beetroot that we have here in the kitchen. So this is what we've got. Wow, look at that. Whew. We're gonna bring it down there. So 93 milliliters. And that's about 3.3 ounces. I'm gonna put my little straw inside. My little mini cup here. There it is. There it is. Really good. Now, the funny thing with beetroot juice is that when you make it beetroot, first of all, your body may not be able to tolerate it. It depends on your system. It depends what you've got going on. Some people just can't handle it. I know my mother, when she's had beetroot juice, doesn't sit well for her. It can give her some discomfort. For me, usually it's been absolutely fine, except for one time when it wasn't. And I think it's just maybe because I was having a lot more dairy. Well, not a lot more, but I don't know what it was. Maybe my stomach lining was a little bit compromised. But it's all right. And so what I will continue to do here is just to sip it as I chat with you, because I wanted to share a word on working through anxiety when you're dealing with uncertainty or you feel like you don't have a direction or a purpose at this point in time. And I think that, I mean, I certainly don't have all the answers, and I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist, but I think that we all relate as a human, you know, to the human experience of uncertainty, not knowing what will happen in the future, maybe if you'll be in one location or another, or if a job is going to work out for you, or if a relationship is going to lead to long-lasting happiness, whatever it is. You could have issues with your way of thinking about your body or the way you're eating, or just physical sickness or ailments. And so when you feel that lack of direction, the anxiety about not knowing what's going to happen or what to do with yourself, what I've noticed is that it helps to just cultivate a space in my mind of positive self-talk, even though sometimes you might say you feel like a piece of turd, or you might not have the most optimistic outlook on life right now. We have those thoughts. They're just thoughts that come up, and you don't have to take any action on them. You're not going to jump off the bridge because of that thought, but it causes pain inside somehow, and it evokes a certain trigger. It triggers a certain emotion, and it can even affect our behavior. But this is why it's so important that when you do catch yourself and practice awareness about what you're thinking and whether it's making you feel more anxious or not, ask yourself to stop in that moment and just question, what am I exactly anxious about? What's going on in my mind? What am I worried about? And if you have the opportunity, take pen and paper and write it down, and follow that thought train and say, I'm concerned about this, I'm worried it's not going to go this way, or I'm impatient, I don't know about XYZ, or this happened with so-and-so person. That way you can at least have some distance from the anxiety that is just coming up as maybe as a firework in your head. And by the way, I'm just going to serve up a little bit more here. It's amazing, this juice actually, it's like blood red. But you can't really see it. It looks burgundy. I'm really grateful for this juice, and I'm grateful that we're able to connect right now. And so I would invite you to, as soon as you notice that you're feeling anxious or worried and tense, ask yourself first, wait a second, pause, hold up. What am I worried about? What's really bothering me? If you can, write it down. This can help. If all you want to do is type it out, typing is fine too. Write it out and see how that manifests on the paper. What do you actually write out? Because that way you start to organize the thoughts in your mind, and it's not just like, rumble and tumble inside, but you're actually giving it some structure. And that helps you to think in a more structured, logical, and calm manner. And then say, ask yourself, can I do anything about this? Is there something I can do to affect the outcome? Maybe you have already done something. It's either a yes or a no. Can you do something about the situation? If you can, what can you do? Okay, have you done that? Can you do that? If not, well, what's holding you back? If there's nothing you can do, then again, what I do is, okay, accept. I feel like that there's nothing I can do about it right now. I just have to wait. Or I just have to accept. I have to accept that this situation is, and I'm uncomfortable with it. However, it will not last forever. This too will change. Everything in life changes, right? As much as sometimes they stay the same and they repeat in habits and routines, still it changes in some way. There's an ebb and a flow. So give yourself the grace of accepting whatever it is you cannot change. Like, you missed the flight. Okay, you missed the flight. So nothing you can do. It's gone off the tarmac. And now what's your plan B? What's your next plan of action? What can you do? What will help in this moment that is supportive, beneficial, nourishing, and not harmful, or that will not cause you more pain? That's very key, because sometimes when we're having these uncomfortable times in life, we want to escape and run away from the bad feelings, going to certain addictions or addictive type of behaviors. It could be alcohol, it could be smoking, it could be food restriction, or it could be binge eating, or it could be well, I don't know. It could be gambling. It could be pornography. It could be a variety of whatever behavior you would consider to be harmful and unbeneficial for you specifically. So that's something to keep in mind. What are you anxious about? Write it down. Take a breath. Pause. Don't take action right away. Just give it some time. If you're not under immediate danger or physical harm or aggression, you have the grace and the space and opportunity to take a time. And then next after that is you just keep moving along. Move your body if you can. Take a walk, because when you move your body, or even if you do jumping jacks in place, that really helps to bring down the adrenaline and the cortisol. The cortisol being the hormone that is triggering this stress response. And the stress response is what's making you tense up more for the fight and flight scenario that your emotions are kind of creating and birthing. So those are some things that I do. And so moving your body, exercising is really beneficial. If you can't do anything to change the effect, if you can't affect the outcome at this point in time, do something else. Shift your focus to something else that you can do, or what can help to make you feel good overall today. All right, you cannot tackle that thing, but okay, fine, let's move on. Do what you can. And then do other things, continue about your daily life. And if you need to cry, cry it out. Sometimes crying can be incredibly therapeutic and really beneficial. It's cathartic for some of us. Or if you have a trusted person, talk about it with them. Someone who you value and trust, who respects you, who knows you, and will have good insight. Someone that you would maybe even like to be in some way. If you look at them and you see, well, I would like that in me, then kind of check in with them and see, well, what do they do? How do they manage? Because different people have different coping skills, and we can all cope in our own way. What I've learned over time through reading and people's behavior is that men typically say they go to their man cave and they will stay to themselves. They're not big talkers. They're not very expressive or emotive. Whereas women, we need to talk, we need to share it with someone we love or who cares about us. And when they share, they're not necessarily looking for a solution, but they're just looking to get those emotions off their chest. So just remember that too. If you're a man and your woman is telling you whatever's on her mind, she may not be looking for an answer or a solution. She's just wanting to share with you and get it out of her mental and emotional landscape. So talking about it with someone you value. However, if there is no one that you feel can be helpful in this situation, if there's no one at this point in time that you feel you can connect with and share something very personal that you're going through, then try journaling. Or don't try, but do it. Journal it out. Write it down with pen and paper, because then that way you are transferring your emotions internally out onto the external world, and again, giving it kind of like a reality, but that can help you to take back your power in a way and feel more in control, as opposed to feeling out of control and like things are getting out of hand. And it's actually that loss of control that can really make us feel even more anxious. If you're someone who's prone to anxiety, or you're a control freak, for lack of a better term, or you just want to keep things under control, you feel like you have to keep all the plates juggling in the air. If you know that's your nature and you're trying to manage all the moving pieces, then you just need to be okay that you can't control all the elements. Take a step back and then journal it out, so that you kind of put all those things out there, whatever it is. Maybe it's 10 things that actually are bugging you, or it's 5, or it's 1. But when you put it out of you, you're not keeping it bottled up, and that way you shift the energy. It's not so bottled up like you having like a compressed Coca-Cola bottle that you agitate. And then all of that tension and gas is building and building. And if you just agitate it and then you open it, it's going to explode. But if you gradually write it out, it can be considered as letting the gas settle in the bottle while it's still closed, but letting it out slowly, slowly. So let it out slowly, slowly onto paper if that's what can help you. I already mentioned distraction, which can be good if you know that there's nothing that you can do right now about that situation to help. And if you feel like you just have to wait, and if you can do something to distract yourself in a beneficial manner. It could be exercising, it could be reading a book, it could be going to the salon for some kind of treatment. It doesn't have to be extremely expensive. Or it could be calling someone that you know you'll have a supportive conversation with. Whatever works for you. It could be petting your pet if you have a dog or a cat or a bird or a lizard, I don't know, a bunny rabbit or a hamster or a rooster. Whatever you have, if that works for you, do that. Or if you have a cuddly teddy bear, you can hug that too. And just pretend it's someone that you really, really love in this world. And that, you know, imagine that it was them really giving you back those loving vibes and positive energy and good intentions. And again, as I said, move your body if you can, because that really helps to dissipate the adrenaline that's circulating and kind of building up inside of your body. And make sure that you're staying hydrated, drink enough water, and that you're sleeping decently, and avoiding excessive consumption, or if any, of alcohol and smoking, because those can also hurt our stomach lining, and they can also affect the brain critically and really deeply. So yeah, those are some things. So avoiding stimulants as well is connected to that, because stimulants are addictive and they stimulate the cortisol and adrenaline rush in our body, which is what their point is, right? Why people love them. The coffee, caffeinated coffee, it's because of the boost or the kick you get. So it's working through that mechanism. So just bear in mind, stimulants will stimulate you and it can trigger even more anxiety. I know it does in me. Which is why I have to be very mindful about my caffeine consumption, and specifically just good old traditional caffeinated coffee, which I love. However, I defer to decaf. Yeah, so I think those are some things. I mean, maybe we all go through periods in life where we're in between, in the gray space. We don't have a sense of purpose or direction, or like, what am I doing with my life? Maybe that's how I feel right now, which is why I'm sharing this focus topic message with you. And it's unusual for me to feel this way for this length of time, but I know that the dust will be settling soon and clarity is coming even more. It's already come, but it will be coming even more to light, and then this too will change. And then something else will come up, and there will be a new season of my life, a new season of your life, and new scenarios and challenges to tackle, and joys to experience, happiness and happy moments to live through and in and embrace. But it's uncomfortable. I will say it is uncomfortable. And it sometimes feels scary for me about, like, just kind of like the gray space. I like to feel purpose and direction, and like I'm doing something purposeful that's even helping people and making a difference, making an impact in a tangible way. And right now, I don't feel that way, but I know that I'm doing what I need to do to change that. And so that's it. That's my message, is I'm doing what I can. You're doing what you can, or else if you're not, then do what you can. You know, if you're worried about a thing, communicate with the person that you're worried about X thing, and then look for a solution. What's the solution? What is a positive outcome? What is your desired outcome? And then work through towards that direction. Identify the steps you need to take so that you can reach that outcome, or ideally reach that outcome. Maybe along the way of your journey, it will change what the process and steps look like in reality. And that's perfect, because that's how it always works out anyway, isn't it? And so do what you can. You know, if all you have is to clean your food and wash your dishes and take care of your children and pet your dog and sit on the balcony and take in your coffee or your juice or tea, do that. If what you have is a really busy, charging job with a lot of like tasks and to-dos, then do them one by one. And then you'll be facing a different type of stressful environment. So yeah, well, anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in with me as we had some of this phenomenal beetroot mandarin juice. Very good. There it is. Fine. That's fine. All right, my friends. Thank you for tuning in. Again, I'm Jennifer from Personal Power Wellness. Thanks for tuning in to today's segment and show, talking topic. And I hope that you are less anxious because of this video, and that every day you can cultivate a space of positive self-talk, well-being, and self-appreciation, and more love in life. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.